You think Hollywood is all red carpets, designer gowns, and perfect smiles. Think again. Beneath the glitz and glam lies a world of backstabbing, betrayals, and feuds so wild they make reality TV look tame. From shoes being thrown across the room to diss tracks that destroyed reputations, these celebrities have been at war for years. Let's get into it. Mariah Carey versus Jennifer Lopez, the I Don't Know Her saga. It started with just 4 words, harmless on the surface, but savage underneath.
I don't know the woman.
When Mariah Carey uttered that now iconic phrase in an early 2000 interview, the internet wasn't even what it is today. But the moment still exploded. She wasn't talking about some random up-and-comer. She was referring to Jennifer Lopez, one of the fastest rising stars in the world. The comment came off cold, dismissive, and calculated. And it wasn't an accident. But what really made it explosive was the reason behind it. This feud runs way deeper than just diva ego. Behind the scenes, both Mariah and J.Lo were tangled in a web of industry politics, backstabbing producers, and one very powerful man, Tommy Mottola, Mariah's ex-husband and former label boss. He wasn't just a music exec. He was a puppeteer, and many believe he helped launch Jennifer's music career using the same samples Mariah had already recorded. Allegedly, Mariah had a track in the works featuring a sample that Mottola then handed to J.Lo for her hit, I'm Real. Coincidence? Fans and insiders say otherwise. It was viewed as a direct sabotage orchestrated by a vengeful ex, and from that moment on, Mariah made it clear. J.Lo simply didn't exist in her universe. The shade wasn't subtle. Every time someone brought up Lopez, Carey acted like she was talking about a stranger on the street. No beef was ever openly declared. No diss tracks, no screaming matches, just that icy, unforgettable phrase, and a feud that's festered silently for over 2 decades. But here's the kicker. They've never publicly made peace. No cute reunion photos, no award show hugs, nothing. Every time their names end up near each other, fans still wonder, was this all about music or something even messier? But that was just the beginning, because the next feud didn't hide behind silence. It erupted in a flash of red carpets, viral videos, and flying stilettos. Nicki Minaj versus Cardi B, from compliments to flying shoes. What started as mutual admiration quickly spiraled into one of the most explosive celebrity clashes in hip-hop history. Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, 2 powerhouse women at the top of their game, seemed destined to collaborate, not collide. But behind the scenes, tension was simmering, and it didn't take long before it boiled over into full-blown chaos. At first, the feud was subtle. Fans noticed cryptic Instagram captions, interviews laced with indirect shade, and bars that seemed just a little too pointed. Many believed Nicki felt threatened by Cardi's sudden rise. After all, Bodak Yellow had exploded, catapulting Cardi from love and hip-hop to superstardom. The world watched as Cardi's name started being mentioned in the same breath as Nicki's, who had long held the throne as rap's reigning queen. But instead of a powerful alliance, we got a rivalry dripping in shade and aggression. Then came the 2018 Harper's Bazaar Icons Party in New York. On what should have been a glamorous, star-studded night, things went completely off script. According to multiple witnesses, Cardi B lunged at Nicki Minaj, shouting accusations and throwing a shoe across the room. Yes, a shoe. In a ballroom filled with celebrities and flashing cameras. The moment went viral in seconds. Cardi left the party barefoot, with a knot on her head and 0 regrets. And just like that, their feud had a defining image. Designer heels flying like missiles. Nicki denied any wrongdoing, taking to her Queen radio show to paint Cardi as the aggressor and accuse her of bad behavior behind the scenes. Cardi clapped back, accusing Nicki of trying to sabotage her career and spreading lies about her parenting. What made it even messier? Their fans, the Barbs and the Barty gang, fueled the fire, dissecting every post, every lyric, and every red carpet glance for signs of war. To this day, the beef has never fully been buried. They may not be throwing shoes anymore, but the energy between them, still icy. And their music, still packed with subliminals that keep fans guessing and the drama alive. But this is just the surface of celebrity beef. Because up next is a feud so personal, so brutally honest, that one track exposed a secret child, destroyed a brand, and nearly broke the internet. Drake versus Pusha T. A diss track that shattered an image. This wasn't just a rap beef. It was an all-out revelation that cracked open the carefully curated world of one of music's biggest stars. Drake, the chart-dominating icon of emotional bars and Billboard takeovers, had weathered criticism before, but nothing and no one hit him as hard as Pusha T did in 2018. What began as a lyrical sparring match turned into a devastating expose that left fans stunned and Drake scrambling to control the fallout. The beef had deep roots. Years before it boiled over, tension had been quietly bubbling between Drake's camp, most notably his mentor Lil Wayne, and Pusha's circle, particularly Kanye West and the Clips, but it wasn't until Drake fired off a shot in Duppy freestyle that Pusha retaliated with nuclear force. His response? A track called The Story of Adidon. And it didn't just go viral, it detonated. Pusha didn't waste a second. In under 4 minutes, he exposed one of Drake's most closely guarded secrets: the existence of a child he'd allegedly been hiding from the public. Not only did he name the child's mother, but he also accused Drake of being a deadbeat dad and suggested he was using the child's existence as a rollout for his upcoming Adidas line. It was savage, it was strategic, and it was personal. But it gets even crazier. Pusha also released an old photo of Drake in blackface, something no one had seen before. The image alone sent shockwaves through the industry. Drake quickly issued a statement saying it was a commentary on racial stereotypes, but the damage had already been done. For a rapper known for controlling his image down to the pixel, this was a complete unraveling. What made it worse? Drake never responded, at least not musically. He later admitted he had a career-ending diss ready for Pusha, but chose not to release it. Many took that as a sign he knew he'd already lost the battle. And while Drake eventually confirmed the existence of his son on his 2018 album Scorpion, the way it was revealed, and who revealed it, marked a major shift in his narrative. To this day, Pusha T remains one of the only rappers who ever got the better of Drake in a public feud. And while both artists have moved on publicly, the scars from that lyrical war are still visible in the way they move, speak, and release music. But not all feuds are waged through diss tracks or interviews. Some simmer in silence, masked by on-screen chemistry, until the truth comes out years later. And this next one, it's a behind-the-scenes clash that turned Hollywood's most romantic film into a battlefield. Ryan Gosling versus Rachel McAdams' love and war behind The Notebook. It's one of the most iconic love stories ever captured on film. The Notebook melted hearts across the world, turning Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams into the poster couple for cinematic romance. Their chemistry was electric. Every glance, every argument, every kiss felt so real. It was impossible not to believe they were soulmates, on screen and off. But behind the scenes, the truth was the exact opposite. Because while fans were swooning, Gosling and McAdams were on the verge of ripping each other apart. From the very start of filming, tensions were high. Gosling, known for being intense and deeply methodical, clashed hard with McAdams' equally fiery approach. According to the film's director, Nick Cassavetes, it got so bad that Gosling once pulled him aside during filming and asked if McAdams could be replaced entirely. He wanted her gone, removed, recast. Imagine that. For one of the most beloved romantic films of the 2000s, the two leads couldn't stand each other. Things reached a breaking point during a particularly emotional scene. Instead of working through it, Gosling asked for McAdams to be taken out of the room, and the two were forced into a screaming match behind closed doors. No cameras, no scripts, just raw, furious energy. And somehow, after the shouting ended, they returned to set and delivered one of the most emotionally charged scenes of the entire movie. As bizarre as it sounds, that tension, it fueled the film's fire. And here's the wildest twist. After filming Wrapped and they parted ways, they actually began dating in real life. That's right. The same actors who allegedly couldn't tolerate each other on set went on to have a relationship that fans idolized. For years, people believed they were just like Ali and Noah. But the truth was messier and much more human. Their romance eventually fizzled, but the story behind it remains one of the most fascinating cases of real-life tension spilling into on-screen magic. It's proof that the line between passion and conflict is razor thin in Hollywood. And sometimes, the most beautiful love stories are born from chaos. But speaking of chaos, this next feud didn't involve romance. It was all about comedy, ego, and a punch heard round 30 Rock. Vin Diesel versus The Rock. Family. Not quite the Fast and Furious franchise built its billion-dollar empire on one core value: family. But behind the roaring engines and explosive stunts, things were breaking down. And not just in the script. At the center of the chaos, a now infamous feud between Vin Diesel and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson that would divide the cast, split the fan base, and nearly derail the entire franchise. It started quietly. During filming for The Fate of the Furious, rumors began swirling that The Rock was butting heads with someone on set. Then came the Instagram post that blew it all wide open. Without naming names, The Rock called out certain male co-stars for being candy E's and not conducting themselves like professionals. He praised the female cast, but his silence on Vin was deafening, and fans instantly connected the dots. The race was on, and the drama hit the gas. Insiders claimed the two clashed over everything: scheduling, creative decisions, and most of all, ego. Vin Diesel, a producer on the films, was reportedly frustrated by The Rock's growing influence and charisma. The Rock, on the other hand, was said to be fed up with Vin's lateness, control issues, and condescending attitude. The tension got so bad that by the time Fate of the Furious hit theaters, they weren't even filming scenes together. Their interactions were stitched together in post-production like a cinematic Frankenstein. But it gets even more dramatic. After the fallout, The Rock launched his own Fast spin-off, Hobbs and Shaw, and skipped out on F9 entirely. Vin tried to downplay the drama, telling press outlets he was just giving Dwayne tough love to get a better performance. But The Rock wasn't buying it. He publicly accused Vin of being manipulative and using the media, and even his own kids, as leverage. When Vin begged him on Instagram to return for the final film, The Rock shut it down completely, calling the post manipulative and saying he had no intention of coming back. Despite all the talk of family, the feud proved that some relationships can't be patched with a barbecue and a Corona. And while both stars continue to thrive in their own lanes, the chemistry that once powered one of Hollywood's most beloved franchises has been permanently totaled.